So this is a little bit of the action module in Animation Master. So far we've seen some of the skeletal applications in the action module. The skeletal allows us to use the inverse kinematics to place our figure into different poses necessary for the animation. There are two other modes in action. One of them is called muscle mode, and the other is called spine motion. In this case, I'm going to use a little bit of the spine motion. So first let's select the torso of the character. Okay, here's what this torso looks like from the front, and here it is from the side. Going back to the front view, I'll tilt it down a little bit, and there's a line that's currently running up and down through the center of my torso. That's going to act exactly like the spine of my character. So first I need to tell the computer that that's going to be the spine. Once I've assigned the spine, I can go into the spine mode of animation, and in this case I'll select a point near his hips, going from a side view, and I'm going to try to bend this body around a little bit. And you notice that I'm tilting the body over a little bit to the side, and in my right view I'll change it back into curve mode so we can see the effects of the spine motion. You can see how his body's kind of been tilted to one side. I'll go back to a little bit more of a front posture. We'll try bending the body around a couple different ways. You notice that as I'm bending the body back and forth, is a very natural kind of a spine bend happening throughout the torso, and my model is responding to it here, taking into account the entire hierarchy. So let's use that in the animation. The first frame is going to be the torso bent a little forward, and I'll jump to frame 30, and we'll bend the torso back a bit. Okay, there we go. So now once again we've got two different extremes, the torso being bent back on frame 30, and another extreme of motion, the torso being bent forward. And I can ask for a preview of that motion just from my left point of view and see how that feels. Just looking at that one particular segment, doing the bend. Okay, here's this little simple 30-frame loop with the motion of the torso. So spine motion allows the animator to do more organic, natural bends to the character that skeletal motion would be, in skeletal motion it would be very hard to produce these natural bends. The last part of the action module is called the muscle motion. And I'm going to show you a little bit of muscle motion as it would relate to producing lip syncing. So we'll select the head of our character, and I only want to work with the face, so we'll isolate the face by grouping some of the points. Okay, I'm going to group some of the points here that are on the front of the face. And once we've grouped that, I can hide the rest of the face in the background. From a front view, I want to produce a little bit of a smile on the character. And the way we're going to do that is select the corner points on frame 1, and I'll bring some of the corner points up. Okay, so the character starts with a little bit of a smile. Okay, let's bring that down a little bit further. And jumping to frame 30, I'll widen the smile by again just dragging some of the control points around. So this allows the artist to have a real fine control over each one of the different spline points in creating subtle movements on the skin of the character, around the lips, to produce facial expressions or lip sync. So after I've created some of those changes, we'll ask for a preview. Starting from frame number 1, where the mouth is somewhat straight, it slowly is going to move into that smile. Then we'll be able to play that back in real time. Okay, it is a simple 30-frame loop. Now, of course, just like all the other parameters in Animation Master, if I wanted to change the timing of the smile, I can select some of the points, in this case the right corner of his lips, and bring down a time channel just for that one point. So it tells us here that point number 7765 has a time channel associated with it for both moving on the X and the Y and the Z. Okay, I can go in here and add in some ease in and ease out. And finally, let's select the other point on the side of the lip and bring down another time channel for that as well. Let's do a little bit of ease on this. And we can preview our smile again. So now the timing is going to be a little bit more natural than the last time, which was a very linear kind of a change. As you can see, as it starts out, I'll slow down the animation a little bit. It's kind of slow. It picks up speed as it gets to the middle and then slows down again as it gets to the end of the smile. Okay? So you can see that by the combination of muscle motion, spine motion, and the skeletal motion coupled with the inverse kinematics, the animator has total freedom in being able to create not only the general motions of the body of the character, but very discrete, minute detail motion is going to help in producing muscle tones or facial expressions. I'm now going to jump to the last part of the animation environment in the program called direction. Direction is where all of our relativistic actions and our lighting and the camera come together for producing the final choreography. In this case, I'll bring in a model of a biplane that I've built from before. And it comes in as a bounding box mode. I can also have it in a quick vector mode or its full spline patch rendering. Okay, well, but let it stay in bounding box. Let's also put the camera here in the corner and have the camera following the airplane around. From the front view, I'll move the camera up a bit. And this is now how the camera sees our little biplane model. But we need to animate the airplane, so from a top-down view, I'll change it back to a bounding box. Let's draw a path for it. Immediately after the path has been laid in there, I can see the airplane animating across the path. If I want to change the path, just a matter of picking it up now and moving it to a new location. Okay, now we got ourselves a new path. But I'll go back the way the path was before. Now, since this is a 3D program, you can go into a side view and move the path into 3D space just a little bit up higher. So the airplane is going to be taken off just a bit. And I'm going to place the camera behind the plane. Let's see what the new animation is going to look like. I'll put the camera below our horizon line as well. Okay, and here it goes here. I can either use the interface from the camera's point of view, or of course I can use it from some of the orthogonal views. And once we've satisfied with our camera point of view and our path, we can ask the computer to generate the little wireframe preview animation to see how the motion of the plane looks in real time.